Oh my gosh!
Hi beautiful ladies. So this past week I was asked for a contouring video, how I contour, and I thought I had a video out. I looked for it, I couldn't find it, so I figured I'd do a new one. In this one, I actually show you how I do my foundation. So I start off with no foundation, so no judging. No foundation, no concealer, no bronzer, no blush. So I'm going to go through that. The foundation I use is Warm 4 by L'Oreal True Match, so I'll be using that. And then my concealer is by Motive's Correction Perfection in Golden. So that's what I use to get a flawless complexion. And then I set it with Motive's Luminous Loose Powder. I'm using my Shape and Sculpt Duo by Motives to highlight and contour. My bronzer by Motives California Girl. And my Motives Blush Runway. And that's pretty much all I'm using. I just want to point out, one, I don't do this routine all the time, but I figured I'd get as much information in this video as I could possibly get in it. My actual daily routine is foundation, bronzer. Foundation and bronzer. I don't usually do blush, and I don't usually contour, and I think that's just out of pure laziness, and that I'm busy, so I don't really take the time to do that. I usually do it for like a night out, an event, if I go somewhere special. Then I take the extra time to do these little steps. So I hope you find it useful. I hope I answer a lot of questions in it. And if I didn't or I missed something, go ahead and write me either underneath the video, or you can send me a message on Facebook at Florina Makeup Artist. And yeah, so I think that's about it. I hope you enjoy it. And like I said, don't freak out in the next clip. Okay, so let's start. A little tip, I'm using a foundation brush. When I do my own foundation, I usually just use my hands. I just feel like it works better, I like it. But I'm gonna use a brush. I use a brush on all my clients. It's full coverage as opposed to using a sponge. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and I'm gonna take my foundation, and I like to put it on the back of my hand. And before I get started, I want to point out my problem areas. So as you can see, I have some pretty dark circles, and then I have a few scars from acne. So those are the main things I like to kind of hide. I have a little bit of red in my nose, around my nose. So that's what we're going to go ahead and hide. Keep in mind, the routine I'm going to do right now, it's just going to be foundation, contouring, and adding color to my face. I don't do this every day, but for video purposes and to share my knowledge with you, I'm going to do the whole thing. But usually I only do foundation, concealer, and bronzer. But I don't do everything. So I go ahead and dot. And I pull it downwards. And the reason I do that is everyone has hair on their face, let's face it. So you want to go in the direction of the hair rather than making it stand up by going up. Be gentle around the eyes. And then make sure to really go down in there. That way you don't have any harsh lines. This is usually where I get really red, so I like to cover that up nicely. So as you can already see the difference between both sides, it's much more even tone. There's a little bit of shine because this foundation has got a lot of moisture when you first start with it, but then it dries and sets in place. Foundation. Foundation isn't really complex. The only tip I really give on foundation is to go downward. Now I'm going to take my powder and set it. Okay, so that's my powder. At this point, I would kind of just wear this every day, but if I were going out or for a special occasion, I would go ahead and use concealer. I don't use concealer unless I'm going out. So this one's pretty pigmented. It's by Motives, and I'm gonna kind of just dot in a triangle. Just my problem areas here, here. This kind of goes in play once we highlight. I'll explain why. My chin looks pretty fine right now, so I'm not gonna do anything with it there. Take my foundation brush again. and gradually just work it in there. And this is really, really thick and pigmented, so start with a little and build it. And then my tip for when working under the eyes, of course, do the upside down triangle like I've mentioned before, and kind of dab. And not only does it help with preventing premature aging from rubbing, but the thing with gliding is you're going to have a few lines, so by dabbing you're preventing that from happening. I'm going to go into the crease of my nose, and blend down a little to the sides, just like that, and on the side. So yeah, technically, on a day-to-day basis, I wouldn't think that it's necessary for me to use concealer, but it is really nice if you have a special event or you're going to take pictures. It just kind of cleans up your look a little more. And that's pretty good. So I'm going to take my powder again, and I'm going to kind of just push it into the skin to set that. Like that. Okay. So that is the foundation and concealer routine. Now I'm going to go in with my Shape and Sculpt Duo. And I have an angle brush. I only use it to apply, but I don't use it for the whole look. So since I don't like to use a lot of my brushes, I'm going to highlight first. Just go in there and grab quite a bit, because it's really light, you won't see it. There's a hint of shimmer, but not too much. And you only pretty much, the deal with highlighting is you don't want to see it all the time. You want the light to reflect and hit you, and you kind of get this really pretty glowy look. So the number one place I like to do it is right above the cheekbone. You're not really going to see this on camera, but if you can just kind of learn from what I'm doing, you get the idea. But like I said, a highlighter, you don't want it to be too obvious. So just above there. I like to do down my nose, a little on my chin, and up here. To me, I don't know, it's a natural glow it gives you up here, so I like to do it there. And kind of in the middle of the forehead. I'm just going to take some off and blend it. There you go. And then now, using that same brush, I don't know why I put it down, using that same brush, I'm going to go in with my contouring shade. I like to work on the cheeks first, and then kind of how you know where to start, how I do it. Well, there's two ways you can do it. You can feel, and where you feel your bone, like my bone, I feel it right here. Right underneath it is where you want to go ahead and contour. Sorry, I couldn't think of the word. So right underneath, that's where you want to take it. And I kind of just take it up to, say, the tip of my eyebrow. I don't like to bring it in much further, because then you're going to start looking dirty around here. So just probably by the eyebrow. I only use the angle brush to first apply the product. So right there. I really hope this shows up on camera. Okay. Same here. I kind of learned my face, so I don't need to touch it. But that's a good way to figure out where you need a contour if you've never done it before. It should always be right underneath your cheekbone. I'm going to add just a little more. Like that. And now I'm going to take my big fluffy brush that I used the powder in, and I'm going to kind of blend it. I don't like any harsh lines on my face. The less visible it is, the better. Perfect. Now I'm going to go around my forehead, just around the hairline and over here. This tends to slim your face when you do it there. So I'm going to brush it out. And again, I don't like to do it too obvious. I just like a hint of contouring. So just go up and out. Put a little more right here and here. Perfect. Like that. You can add more preference. You can also, if you don't like your jawline and you want it to be a little more, I guess you would say, cut nicer. I can't think of the word for the lack of term right now. You can go ahead and line it with your contour shade as well. I'm just going to do it for the sole purpose of the video. I never do it to myself. And this will also take care of double chins. So you just go in here and shade it. And shade as much as you feel you need, or as much as you want. But that's pretty much all for contouring. Well, actually, I lied. You can do the nose too. I don't do the nose. You can use an eyeshadow brush. So go ahead and dip it in your contouring shade, and then how you contour your nose is you always want to line it up with your eyebrow going down. And well, let me just show you. So go from here down, and this just helps slim it. So if you feel like you want to slim your nose, it's good for you to do. I just don't do it because I'm lazy. And then go ahead and do the other side as well. Now if you really like to do your nose, make sure you do it straight, because you're trying to slim your nose, and if you don't do it straight, you're gonna have a crooked nose. So I don't know which one's better. You want a slim nose or you want a crooked nose? I don't know. You decide that for yourself. Now I'm going to go ahead and blend. I don't want it to be obvious. Now going back in with your brush, your angled brush, and fluff it out. So now we're done with contouring. As you can see, contouring helps slim the face. So now I have the shadow in the hollows of my cheeks, and I have a shadow around here. So what it does is it just kind of squeezes you in a little bit. And once we put the bronzer and the blush on, you'll see how it enhances our features. So I first go in with the bronzer, and this is to kind of give me a little glow because my chest is actually darker than my face, and that's because of moisturizers, washing your face, exfoliating, facials, masks, you name it. Whatever we use, it tends to make our face look a bit lighter through time. So I start with the forehead. Go ahead and just brush that on. I like to take bronzer everywhere. Sometimes I don't even use blush, I just use bronzer. I kind of go in a backward C in this side, so kind of like that. And as you notice, it's a fluffy brush. I like using a fluffy brush. I really don't like using small brushes on my face because that's how you get like lines and weird colors on your face, because I feel like you use a brush too small and that's what happens. Especially if you're in a rush and you don't have the time to be precise, a fluffy brush always does the job. Now with my bronzer, I just like to buff it in my skin. And bring it down to my neck. Whatever's left, because as I said, my face is lighter than my neck. Now I go in with a blush, and I'm still going to use the big fluffy brush. I like to use it. Go in there, tap it a few times, and then I don't know if it's habit, but I kind of just tap it on my hand to make sure I don't have too much product. You can smile and just get the apples of your cheeks, or you can just play it however you want. There you go. So as you can see, now that I put the blush on, you see my cheeks a little more. When I smile, they stand out a little bit more. And I feel like I look overall pretty healthy in my face. And that's the importance of contouring, blush. And if you don't have time for contouring, like I said, I don't contour every day. Sometimes not even when I go out. It's just, I guess, whenever I feel like doing it, I do it, but I don't always do it. But it's really important to put color on your face and to conceal any imperfections you have. All of a sudden my eyes now pop, and before it was kind of like, yeah, your eyes are pretty, but you know, you have dark circles, you have red pigmentation, you have scars, whatever the case is, whatever your skin has. Everyone's skin has some imperfection, whether it's a little bit too red or I don't know, purpley or whatever you can think of. The point is everybody has it, and by using foundation, you help make your eyes stand out. By using contouring, you help re-sculpt your face and bring out your natural features, and then by using bronzer you help give your face a healthy glow, and blush kind of just helps your cheekbones look really cute and really high. So there you have it. This is kind of my routine for contouring and for blush and foundation. So if you have any questions, please feel free to comment. You can find me on Facebook at Florina Makeup Artist. You can go to my website, florinamakeupartist.com. I have daily tips. I post daily tips on my Facebook page, and on my website you can also find them there. So until next time, stay beautiful. Bye!